welcome to Natty's Home Cooking, and today we are going to be making cauliflower crust pizza because we are doing the Mediterranean diet now. Um, but this is just made with everything fresh tomatoes, fresh cauliflower. Everything is fresh. We don't add any sugars. We don't do any of that. This is just all vegetables. And I did add, excuse me, grilled chicken to my cauliflower pizza. So what we're going to do is we're going to broil the tomatoes I just cut up in halves, and now we are going to grind up these cauliflower heads one at a time because I am doing two pizzas, and one cauliflower makes up for one pizza. Um, you don't want to put two of them together. You'll have a really huge pizza. So this here, I'm just grinding it down so that I can cook it in the microwave. And the reason why you cook it in the microwave is because cauliflower has a lot of water. Right now I'm squeezing it all out with a cheesecloth. It's got a lot of water. I think I squeezed out about a half a cup out of the cauliflower, just one head of cauliflower. And once you get that done, just place it into a bowl, and um, and it's probably a little hot, so be careful. Mine was still pretty warm. And then what I'm going to do after placing it into the bowl here, once I get it all crumbled up here, see how fine it is after crumbling it up in the processor and microwaving it? It's actually very, very fine. Okay, we're going to add one egg. Now I use my free range eggs, chicken's eggs, because it's more nutrition for you. Look how much more rich the yolk is. When you compare it with the store bought, it's a lot lighter, but the free range is a lot darker. So I always use my hen's eggs. So we're going to add the one egg. We'll add some Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and and I do use a little bit of olive oil to this. I do about a teaspoon, and I don't. I wouldn't recommend using too much sea salt. I did like maybe just do a pinch because it does overpower it. Okay, so right now I'm doing the sea salt, and I did too much because I noticed it whenever I cooked it. It was a little strong. So my next pizza, I don't even add any sea salt to it because I think it tastes better. But that's your guys' personal preference. If you want to add a little bit of sea salt, go for it. And then I added about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I did about 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. And yeah, I did 2 teaspoons, I'm sorry, of Italian seasoning. And then what you're going to do is just mix this up really, really well into like kind of form of a ball. It's, it's not going to be like a dough. Just remember that, okay? It's not going to be like that at all. This is a different texture, and you're just going to place it on a parchment paper, which is what I do here. You can tell, look how much more different it is compared to your regular dough. So remember, we're going healthy. So anyway, we're going to squish this down, and we're going to just form it into a pizza, round pizza dough here. Okay, and when you're forming this into a round pizza, make sure not to make it too thin, okay? Because what will happen is that it will start to break. So just make sure you kind of make it a little bit kind of a thicker side there. So anyway, we're almost done with forming this pizza. And then what we're going to do, we do not put any sauce or anything like that on top of it. We're going to just go ahead and put it in the oven and bake it. So with cauliflower crust, you bake it first and then add your toppings. And then what I do is I bake it for about 375 in the oven, and until it gets a nice color to it, like a golden brown color. And I do add Parmesan to mine before I place it into the oven. You can add a little bit of mozzarella if you like. That's fine too. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get started on our tomatoes that we just finished blanching because we blanched our tomatoes in the oven. Um, we're going to, once we get done putting these in this blender here, we're going to blend them up and then we're going to just cook it on the stove and start adding our seasonings to our tomato sauce. Okay, so place it in the pan here. And we're going to start adding in our, I think I start with let me see here. Okay, I do add the garlic powder. So I do a little bit of garlic powder on top of there. I just want to be able to taste that flavor because remember, we're going healthy and it's going to be, this is Parmesan, by the way. I just kind of just cover the tomato sauce here. Italian seasoning. And then I do 1 bay leaf on top. And I do add a little bit more Italian seasoning. And you guys will tell that during making this sauce, you may need to add a little extra. That's why you got to taste it as you go. And I do add some of the Texas honey that we grow here in Texas. So I'm going to add a little bit of that to it to kind of sweeten it up just a bit. And you do add a little bit of sea salt to it too. So just let this simmer a little bit, and what we're going to do is mix it as we go and taste as you go as well to get that flavor. Don't give up because trust me, it will start to come together. I know at first it kind of tastes pretty bland and nasty, but it's really good on the pizza. Okay guys, here is the pizza after being cooked in the oven. This is what it's supposed to look like. You can go a little darker if you like cooking it, but this is how I like mine. Now I'm going to spread that sauce on top of this pizza here. My sauce doesn't look as red, but that's because I did it with just the tomatoes only, no can, because can has a lot of sodium to it and preservatives, so we don't really want to add canned sauce. Okay, we want to go as natural as possible when doing the Mediterranean diet and not sugars in it. So you know, this is the best way here. If you're going to go Mediterranean, do it the right way. So we're going to go ahead and add this sauce all on here and just spread it out evenly. Once you get that spread out, you will eventually add in your mozzarella or Parmesan. I am doing Parmesan today and feta, so you'll see the feta here as well. Now I'm just going to coat it pretty well with the Parmesan. Okay, I'm going to add my grilled chicken on top of this, and once we get the grilled chicken on top, we'll go ahead and add the rest of the vegetables and the feta. And then once you get all your toppings on your pizza, you're going to cook it in the oven on 375 until it is completely done. Mine, just because you've already cooked the crust, I think mine took about probably 20 to 30 minutes altogether because I wanted to make sure it was completely done. And we'll see what it looks like as soon as it's done cooking. All right, guys. So it turned out really, really good, and this was my first time ever making cauliflower crust pizza. So, um, I it turned out really great. I was so happy about this. I'm glad I made it, and I got to share it with you guys. And it isn't crunchy like normal pizza, but hey, it's another recipe that I get to add to my food. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful and safe day, and God bless. See you later.